So first of all, good morning, everyone. I'm Sathish Krishna, and I'm an enterprise architect from IBM, and it's a honor to be uh, part of this 11th International Conference on Managing Value Supply Chains. Today, I will be presenting a transformative framework called as a D-SCOR model, or the Design-Based Supply Chain Operations Reference Model. This model is built to address the evolving complexities of modern supply chains with a focus on resilience, sustainability, and data-driven decision-making. So let's dive into this model, like how it can reshape the way we think about the supply chain operations. So here is our agenda today. We'll start with exploring how supply chains have evolved, then introduce D-SCOR model and its key improvements over the traditional frameworks. We'll walk through the architecture, digital transformation pathways, and real-world scenarios or real-world applications. And towards the end, we'll discuss the challenges, future trends, and actionable recommendations. We'll have time for discussions at the end for any questions or any kind of clarifications. So let's start by understanding how supply chains have evolved over the time, because this context is very critical to appreciate why frameworks like D-SCOR model are necessary for today. So historically, the supply chains were linear conduits, wherein which they are simple sequential flows of goods and services from suppliers to the customers. So this worked well in an era of predictable demand and limited globalization, but that word no longer exists now. So the modern reality is today the supply chains are dynamic, interconnected networks influenced by globalization, technological advancements, and environmental pressures. So globalization has expanded supplier bases and markets, creating the complexity. So the digital technologies like artificial intelligence or Internet of Things, blockchain have amplified both the opportunities as well as the risks. So digital technologies, sustainability imperatives demand that supply chains reduce the carbon footprints and embrace circular economy principles. So the digital age has introduced unprecedented volatility. So, and also the geopolitical tensions or pandemics and climate disruptions have exposed vulnerability in the traditional models. So the organizations now need some kind of framework that optimizes the operations while embedding the resilience and sustainability at their core. So talking about these limitations of traditional models, the traditional frameworks like SCOR, Supply Chain Operations Research Framework, which was introduced in 1996, was revolutionary for that time, but they standardize the process such as plan, source, make, deliver, and return, enabling the benchmarking and efficiency improvements. However, SCOR was designed for a pre-digital era, and it lacks real-time analytics for proactive decision-making and integration of design phases of lifecycle sustainability, predictive capabilities to manage uncertainty. Even Design SCOR, which added the lifecycle design and orchestration, fails short in leveraging operational research tools like simulation modeling or optimization algorithms or machine learning for predictive insights. So the key takeaway here is the evolution of the linear pipelines to dynamic ecosystems means supply chains must be adaptive, data-driven, and sustainable. So this sets the stage for D-SCOR model, a framework that combines design thinking, operational research, and digital transformation to meet these challenges. Now that we have seen why traditional frameworks fall in short, let's see what exactly is the D-SCOR model. D-SCOR stands for Design-Based Supply Chain Operations Research Model. It's not just an incremental improvement over SCOR. It's just an incremental improvement over the SCOR. D stands for the design in Design SCOR. So it's a paradigm shift. Why? The reason because it integrates design thinking, operational research techniques, and predictive analytics into the very fabric of supply chain management. To explain each component in detail, starting with the design-based framework, at its core, D-SCOR is design-first approach. The traditional SCOR focuses on planning and execution, but D-SCOR begins with design from product ideation to the end of the life. This ensures the manufacturability as well as the cost effectiveness and environmental safety right from the beginning of a product design. By embedding the operational research techniques like linear programming or simulations and optimizations, we enable the data-driven decision making. So which becomes a critical for resilience and sustainability in today's volatile markets. So coming to the next one, the predictive analytics. This is the second pillar. Second pillar for this model. The supply chains today face challenges like demand volatility, geopolitical disruptions, and ESG compliance pressures. So the D-SCOR uses simulation modeling and optimization algorithms to anticipate these risks before they even occur. For example, the Monte Carlo simulations helps to assess the risk scenarios, while machine learning models like multi-layer perceptron delivers up to 94% accuracy in demand prediction. So this transforms the supply chain from reactive systems into the proactive and intelligent ecosystems. And the last but not the least, the sustainable growth. The Design SCOR emphasizes humanizing the supply chain management. Instead of rigid automation, it promotes collaborative, adaptive strategies. The reason why it becomes important is because the sustainability isn't just about reducing the carbon footprint. It's also about the supply chains that are ethical, inclusive, and resilient. So D-SCOR integrates the circular economy principles, green logistics, and supplier collaboration to achieve the ESG goals while maintaining the profitability. So think about your own supply chain challenges, like whether it's rising costs or unpredictable demand or sustainability mandates. Design SCOR addresses all these by combining design thinking, analytics, and collaboration into one cohesive framework. So in short, Design SCOR framework is a blueprint for future-ready supply chains, balancing efficiency, sustainability, and adaptability. So now we have understood what exactly is the Design SCOR model's foundation. Now let's see in this slide. Let's see what it actually delivers in terms of measurable outcomes. So one of the most common questions I get is how Design SCOR model perform compared to the traditional framework. So the answer lies in three key metrics. One is efficiency, and next is accuracy and sustainability. So on the efficiency, we have seen an improved gains of nearly 15 to 25%. How is because how it can be possible is by integrating the optimization algorithms and simulation tools into planning and execution. For example, linear programming helps optimize resource allocations, while Monte Carlo simulation assess the risk scenarios. So these techniques reduce the bottlenecks, streamlines the workflows, and enhances the throughput across the supply chain. And we have seen the prediction accuracy is improved by 94%, which means forecasting is very critical for today's volatile markets. So improving the 94% accuracy helps in predicting the demand and the supply chain performance. So this level of precision enables the proactive decision making, anticipating the disruptions before they even occur, and adjusting the strategies in the real time. And also we have observed nearly 20% reduction in carbon emissions. So sustainability isn't optional anymore, like it's a mandate. So D-SCOR model embeds ESG principles and circular economy practices into its architecture. By optimizing the transportation routes, reducing the overproduction, and improving the inventory management, organizations can cut the carbon emissions up to 20%. So this aligns with the global sustainability goals while maintaining the profitability. So on the right, you can see the radar chart comparing the SCOR model, which was a previous one, which was derived in 1996, and the D-SCOR model across 5 different attributes like reliability, responsiveness, agility, cost, and asset efficiency. So notice how the D-SCOR model consistently outperforms the SCOR, especially in the agility and responsiveness, and thanks to its predictive and adaptive capabilities. So imagine what these improvements mean for any organization is, first thing is a faster response to the market changes. Second, lower operational costs and stronger compliance with the ESG standards. So these aren't just theoretical; they are backed by the real world scenarios, real world executions, and also the simulations. So in short, D-SCOR model doesn't just optimize the process; it transforms the supply chain into intelligent and sustainable ecosystems. So let's see in this slide. Let's break down the architecture that makes makes these results possible. So D-SCOR model is built on 8 interconnected processes, each designed to address a specific dimension of supply chain management. So unlike the traditional framework that focuses mainly on the planning and execution, Design SCOR framework begins with design thinking and integrates operational research techniques throughout the life cycle. So starting with the design, this is the foundation. It covers the entire product life cycle from ideation to the end of the life. Using simulation tools, organizations can model life cycle scenarios, access manufacturability, and evaluate environmental impact before the production even begins. So this proactive approach reduces the waste and ensures sustainability from the day one onwards. And next comes to the orchestrate. Orchestration is about network synchronization. D-SCOR model uses optimization algorithms to align supply chain networks with ESG goals. This means the suppliers, manufacturers, and distributors collaborate in the real time, ensuring the ethical sourcing and minimizing the carbon footprint. Next comes the plan. Planning is a phase in planning is enhanced with the Monte Carlo simulations for risk assessment. Instead of static forecasts, D-SCOR model provides scenario-based insights, helping the organizations prepare for disruptions like demand spikes or geopolitical events. And next comes to the order. Demand management is powered by predictive analytics. Machine learning models can forecast the demand with high accuracy, embedding the proactive inventory and production planning. So this reduces the stockouts and overproduction. On the aspect of source, supplier collaboration is key to reducing the emissions. D-SCOR model promotes ESG-aligned sourcing strategies, ensuring the suppliers adhere to the sustainability standards while maintaining the cost efficiency. And next is the transform. So manufacturing optimization happens through the real-time monitoring. So IoT sensors or digital twins provide the visibility into the production processes, enabling quick adjustments to maintain quality and efficiency. And on the Fulfil, delivery excellence is achieved through the AI-driven logistics, route optimization, dynamic scheduling, and predictive maintenance, ensuring timely deliveries while reducing the fuel consumption. On the last and final aspect, on the returns, so finally, the D-SCOR model integrates the circular economy principles through the returns. Products are designed for reuse, recycle, and responsible disposal, reducing the environmental impact and creating the new value streams. So think about the existing current supply chain scenarios. How many of these processes are fully optimized? So D-SCOR model doesn't just connect them; it infuses the intelligence and sustainability in every step. So in this slide, let's look at how this framework operates across the hierarchical levels, ensuring the alignment from strategy to execution. One of the strengths of D-SCOR model is multi-level structure. So this hierarchy ensures that decisions are made at the strategic level, cascade effectively down to the operational tasks, while the real-time insights flow back for the continuous improvement. So think of it like a closed loop system. Strategic intent meets the tactical execution powered by analytics. Now, looking at the details of each and every aspect, like level 1, which is design, this is where it all begins. So, design for manufacturability. Products are conceptualized with manufacturability, cost effectiveness, and environmental safety in mind. Simulation tools can help model the life cycle impacts before production starts. So, reducing the waste and ensuring the sustainability. And the level 2 is the strategic aspect. At this level, the organizations can define the high-level strategies like goals and KPIs. The focus is on aligning the supply chain objectives with the market demands and customer expectations. So this ensures the long-term competitiveness and resilience. And the third aspect is the tactical configuration. Here, the emphasis is on network optimization, balancing the demand and supply, managing the inventory, and defining the supply chain types for responsiveness and flexibility. So this level translates the strategy into the actionable configurations. And the fourth aspect on the level 4, the operational process element. So this is where the daily activities happen, executing the tasks or maintaining the procedural consistency and driving continuous improvement. So it's the heartbeat of the supply chain, ensuring the smooth operations. On level 5, the detailed implementation. At this level, the organizations apply system-specific practices tailored to their unique context. So these adoptions create competitive advantage and allow business to respond quickly to changing conditions. And the layer 6, the AI analytics layer, this is a game changer, real-time intelligence, because it brings a real-time intelligence. The AI-driven analytics provide predictive insights and automated optimization, enabling a proactive decision-making. So instead of reacting to the disruptions, organizations can anticipate and mitigate them before even before they occur. So if we ask a question for ourselves, like where does the organization spend most of its time? Strategic planning or firefighting operational issues, the D-SCOR model helps bridge that gap by creating a data-driven and adaptive hierarchy. So this is a layered approach that ensures the strategy informs the execution and the execution feedbacks into the strategy through the real-time analytics. So that's where it's a closed loop. It's a closed loop operation or closed loop framework. So now in this slide, let's talk about how we measure the success. A framework is only good as its ability to deliver measurable outcomes, and that's where the performance attributes come into the picture. Like D-SCOR model uses balanced scorecard approach to evaluate the supply chain performance. This means we look at both the customer-focused attributes as well as the internal efficiency metrics. Why? Because focusing only on the cost aspect can compromise the customer satisfaction and vice versa. Like a balanced view ensures a sustainable growth and competitive advantage. On the customer focused attributes, like starting with manufacturability, these attributes ensures the products are designed for safe manufacturing, cost efficiency, and reuse at the end of the life. So it's about embedding the sustainability right from its design phase. So the second aspect is the reliability. Reliability measures the consistency and dependability. If we can deliver on time or the orders accurate, these are critical for building the trust and maintaining the customer's loyalty. And the responsiveness is all about the speed. How quickly can we fulfill the customer demands? In today's fast-paced markets, responsiveness is a very key differentiator. On the agility part, agility goes beyond the speed. It's about adaptability. So how well we can respond to disruptions like supply chain shortages or sudden demand spikes. So D-SCOR models, predictive analytics, and simulations tools make this agility a reality. On the internal focused attributes, coming to the cost, so cost measures the financial efficiency of the supply chain operations. So D-SCOR model helps optimize the cost without sacrificing the service quality by using optimization algorithms and data-driven planning. On the asset management efficiency, this evaluates how effectively we manage the physical and financial assets like inventory or cash cycles or resource utilization. So better asset efficiency means improved liquidity and profitability. So if we put this question to ourselves or our organization, are we measuring all these 6 attributes, or are we focusing only on the cost or the delivery times? So the D-SCOR model compels us to take a holistic view and a balanced scorecard kind of approach where the customer satisfaction and operational efficiency both matters. So these 6 attributes form the backbone of the D-SCOR model's performance evolution. So this ensures that supply chains are not just efficient but also responsive, reliable, and sustainable. So we have discussed the performance attributes and architecture. Now let's see the engine that powers the D-SCOR model, which is the operational research. So operational research at the OR is what makes the D-SCOR model predictive, adaptive, and intelligent. Traditional frameworks rely on historical data and static planning. D-SCOR model uses OR techniques to anticipate the risk, optimize the resources, and drive the real-time decisions. So if we break down this into the 4 pillars, like the predictive modeling or the simulation tools, optimization algorithms, and network DEA analysis. On the predictive modeling, the machine learning algorithms, including multi-layer perceptrons, deliver 94% accuracy in supply chain forecasts. So this means we can predict the demand fluctuations, inventory needs, and potential disruptions with a high precision. On the simulation tools, D-SCOR model employs Monte Carlo simulations for risk assessment in planning and ordering processes. On the optimization algorithms, the linear programming and network optimization are applied to resource allocation, inventory management, and route planning. And on the network DEA analysis, DEA is a data development analysis, which that scores the efficiency across the supply chain nodes. So it calculates the input reductions and output increments, helping identify which suppliers or processes delivers the best performance. So this enables the targeted improvements and benchmarking against the industry standards. So these OR techniques are not just optional; they are essential for building resilient, sustainable, and future-ready supply chains. So now with the digital transformations, the digital transformation is not just a one-time project; it is a continuous journey. Many organizations fail because they try to do everything at once, and D-SCOR model provides a phased approach. This phased approach that balances the speed with sustainability. So if you see that there are 4 steps involved in this, and starting with assessing the current state, this is the first step in evaluation. So before implementing the D-SCOR model, the organizations must understand their current processes, identifying the gaps, and establish the baseline metrics. So this includes reviewing existing workflows, technology infrastructure, and performance indicators. Without this foundation, transformation efforts risk misalignment and wasted resources. And the second aspect, which is the map processes, next we document the workflows and integrate the operational research techniques. These steps involve designing the digital infrastructure, connecting the ERP systems or IoT sensors and analytics platforms. Mapping ensures that every process aligns with the D-SCOR's model architecture from design to returns. And the third aspect is the implementing iteratively. Implementation should be phased and not abrupt. So start with the pilot projects in high impact areas like demand forecasting or logistics optimization. train the workforce and provide the change management support. This reduces the resistance and builds confidence across the teams. And finally, monitoring the KPIs. Continuous monitoring is essential. Track key performance indicators like efficiency, responsiveness, and carbon footprint, and adjust the strategies based on the real-time data. So this iterative feedback loop drives the continuous improvement and ensures long-term success. So this pathway transforms the digital initiatives from disruptive projects into the sustainable programs. Today's supply chain must also meet some environmental and social governance, which is the ESG standards. So D-SCOR model embeds all these aspects. D-SCOR model embeds the sustainability into every stage of the supply chain. So sustainability is no longer a strategic imperative. Customers, regulators, and investors expect organizations to operate responsibly. D-SCOR model addresses this through a triple bottom line approach, balancing economic performance, environmental stewardship, and social responsibility. On the circular economy principles, D-SCOR model promotes design for reuse, recycle, and end of the life management. This reduces the waste by up to 20%, creating a closed loop systems that minimize the environmental impact and also generate the new value streams. And the second aspect is the green logistics. The logistics is a major contributor to the carbon emissions. D-SCOR model uses blockchain for traceability and AI-driven route optimization to cut the emissions and improve the transparency. So this ensures ethical and efficient transportation practices. And the third aspect is the supplier collaboration. So sustainability starts with the upstream. D-SCOR model encourages the ESG aligned sourcing strategies, ensuring the suppliers adhere to the ethical labor practices and environmental standards. So this builds the trust and reduces the compliance risk. On the fourth aspect, the resource optimization, predictive analytics help avoid overproduction and the inventory waste, reducing both the cost and environmental impact. So this is where the operational research meets the sustainability. And the last aspect, the social responsibility, the D-SCOR model integrates the labor safety metrics and fair trade considerations into the performance measurement. So it's not just about reducing emissions, it's also about protecting the people and communities. So highlighting the research insight, one of the research insight, recent studies show that integrating the generative AI into the green logistics can identify 34 applications of waste minimization while adhering to the 38 barriers. So including like data privacy concerns. So D-SCOR model leverages these insights to make sustainability practical and scalable. By embedding the ESG principles into the architecture, D-SCOR model transforms the sustainability from a compliance checkbox into a competitive advantage. So looking at the results, so these results come from multiple scenarios and implementing at the various OEMs. So comparing the D-SCOR model to the traditional frameworks like SCOR and D-SCOR, the goal was to measure the improvements across the 5 key performance attributes, which is reliability, responsiveness, agility, cost reduction, and asset efficiency. So explaining each attribute with the data, starting with the reliability, D-SCOR model achieved 95% perfect order fulfillment, ensuring the consistent and dependable performance. So this is one of the critical for any customer, for a customer trust or on service quality. And responsiveness is increased. Responsiveness of a cycle time is increased by 18%, meaning faster order processing and delivery. In today's competitive markets, responsiveness translates directly into the customer satisfaction. On the agility is improved by 25%, enabling the rapid adaptation to the market disruptions and demand fluctuations and supply chain shocks. And cost reduction, nearly 20% of cost savings were seen through the optimized resource allocation and inventory management and logistics planning. And the asset efficiency has been improved by 22%, reflecting better utilization of physical and financial assets. So this boosts the liquidity and operational flexibility. So the bar chart visually compares these improvements. So if you notice like how the agility and asset efficiency show the highest gains, these are the areas where the traditional frameworks struggle, but the D-SCOR model excels, and thanks to its operational research integration and design first approach. So imagine like applying these improvements to our own supply chain, this would directly result into a 20% cost savings and 25% agility boost, which is a tremendous achievement for any kind of business. So these results confirm that Design SCOR model is not just a theoretical model; it delivers measurable, scalable benefits across all the tactical dimensions. Now let's look at the practical case study involving a tier one and a contract manufacturing and automotive supply chain. So the challenge was significant inefficiencies in sourcing production. There was a challenge with the significant inefficiencies in sourcing, production scheduling, and distribution, which led to high waste levels and unpredictable delivery times. So traditional frameworks lacked predictive capabilities to manage this complexity. So this is where the D-SCOR model came into the picture for some of their programs. And D-SCOR model was implemented using 4 key strategies. The first one is a multi-layer perceptron for demand forecasting and delivering highly accurate predictions. On the network DE analysis to score the efficiency across 40 supply chain instances, identifying the weak links and preparing for those areas. And the third aspect is the real-time monitoring for environmental metrics to track the sustainability performance, and optimization algorithms for harvesting to delivery scheduling, reducing the delays and the resource waste. So highlighting on the results, so we have seen nearly a 94% improvement in the forecast accuracy and 20% waste reduction and 18% faster delivery. So this case demonstrates the D-SCOR model's practical applicability in complex supply chains. So it's not just a theoretical model; it works in the real world, and where we have seen these practical results, delivering the measurable benefits in efficiency and sustainability and agility. So now let's talk about what organizations gain when they implement this model. So implementing D-SCOR model isn't just about the technology. It's also about creating a strategic advantage. The benefits span across the collaboration, cost efficiency, agility, and competitiveness. You're starting from the standardization, communication to cost optimization and enhanced agility and the competitive edge. So Design SCOR model aligns the supply chain activities with the business objectives, ensuring the improvement and supporting the strategic goals. This systematic approach strengthens the market position and also improve the shareholder value, giving the organizations a clear edge over the competitors. So D-SCOR model doesn't just optimize the process, but overall it transforms the supply chains into a strategic assets. So if you look at the key barriers the organization face and what they mean for the successful adoption, so implementing a Design SCOR model requires more than a technology. It demands cultural, technical, and financial readiness. So these challenges are common across the industries, and understanding them upfront helps in planning the mitigation strategies, starting with the data integration complexity or skills gap and workforce development, where the companies has to be prepared for the upcoming technologies like the data science, AI, or agile methodologies so that they can build the capabilities and train their resources and train their personnel for the successful implementation. And the third aspect is organizational resistance. And no matter whatever the new technology comes, it is the first thing that the organizations shows the resistance. So it has to be driven from the topmost influential person so that it can be adopted and it can be successfully implemented. And finally, the resource intensity. So the initial implementation demands a significant financial investment in technology infrastructure, software platforms, and consulting expertise. But for small and medium enterprises, these costs can be particularly challenging. Strategic planning and phased rollouts can help manage these burdens. So these challenges are real, but they are not insurmountable. With leadership commitment, strategic planning, and incremental implementation, organizations can overcome these barriers and unlock D-SCOR model's full potential. Now let's look at the technology enablers that make this transformation possible. So modern supply chains are too complex to manage with traditional tools. D-SCOR model leverages the cutting-edge technologies to deliver predictive insights, the real-time visibility, and automation. So these enablers are not optional; they are essential for resilience and competitiveness in today's digital economy. So looking at each details like the artificial intelligence and machine learning, as well as the blockchain technology, where it ensures the traceability and transparency, to the cloud infrastructure, where the cloud platforms provide the scalable computing resources and real-time data processing, on the IoT sensors and monitoring provides the real-time visibility into the assets, inventory, and environmental conditions. On the digital twin simulations, digital twins create a virtual replicas of physical supply chains, allowing the scenarios testing and risk assessment without disrupting the actual operations. And the last aspect, the robotic process automation. Robotic process automation, routine tasks like order processing and invoice reconciliation, this reduces the human error, accelerating the workflows and free up the resources for strategic activities. So combining all this with the AI, RPA, robotic process automation drives a significant efficiency gains. So these technologies are not just tools; they are strategic assets. Together, they can empower D-SCOR model to deliver the predictive intelligence, operational agility, and sustainability. Now let's see how the D-SCOR model performs in the real world scenarios across the industry. So D-SCOR model isn't just theoretical, it's been validated across multiple OEMs and contract manufacturers and tier ones in the real world. There was some data as a part of this paper that were presented for simulations and case studies. Some case studies in manufacturing and automotive and consumer goods and logistics. So these examples show how organizations leverage D-SCOR model to achieve measurable improvements in efficiency, agility, and sustainability. So on the electronics manufacturing, companies have achieved nearly 15% reduction in the supply chain cost through the process standardization and optimization. And the automotive industry, we have seen the implementations for 30% faster. On consumer goods, enhanced collaboration across the complex supplier networks improved time to market, ensuring the products reach the shelves faster and customers get what they need without any delays. So these success stories prove that D-SCOR model is an operational framework that is consistent and that delivers the results. So now let's look at trends shaping the supply chains over the next 5 years and how D-SCOR model positions itself to capitalize these opportunities. So looking at the roadmap from 25 to 26, it is all about the AI integrations. The first major trend is the widespread of the adoption of generative AI for supply chain optimization. AI will go beyond forecasting. It will enable predictive maintenance, waste minimization, and autonomous decision making. Starting 26-27, we see the climate adaptation. The climate resilience will become central part of the supply chain strategies. Frameworks will need to embed the carbon tracking or circular economy principles and ESG compliance. From 27 to 28, we would see growth of autonomous networks, meaning like we'll see the self-optimizing supply chains leveraging the IoT, blockchain, and AI for the real-time decision making. In 2030 timeframe, like we will see the overall ecosystem integration, the final trend in which like the fully integrated supply chain ecosystem. So these will feature seamless data sharing, collaborative planning, and synchronized operations across the industries. So D-SCOR model isn't just about solving today's problem, it's about future-proofing the supply chains. By adopting this model, organizations position themselves to thrive in an era of autonomous, sustainable, and interconnected supply chains. So how to make this work in practice? Like implementation is where most of the organizations struggle, not because the model is flawed, but because the transformation requires planning, people, and persistence. So the only way to get it strategically implemented is to drive it from top down with the leadership having a strong commitment to go to the D-SCOR model. So remember, the D-SCOR model implementation is a journey and not a destination. So it requires adaptive leadership, sustained commitment, and willingness to learn from both success and setbacks. Organizations that follow these steps position themselves for resilience, agility, and sustainable growth, and that is for sure. So what we have covered the design model framework, its architecture, enabling technologies, and implementation strategies. Now let's see like why the D-SCOR model is truly a blueprint for sustainable growth. It is given on 4 different points, like the proven performance and holistic approach, practical applicability, and future ready. So as the supply chains grow in complexity and importance, D-SCOR model provides a clear roadmap for building resilient, responsive, and sustainable operations. So future research will focus on empirical validations across the industries and geographies, but the foundation is here, like by humanizing supply chain management, emphasizing collaboration and adaptability over the rigid automation. So D-SCOR model charts a path forward towards the sustainable growth in increasingly interconnected world.